Hey guys, welcome back. We've gotten word of a few more seismic surveys that need to be done before Rosneft can really get started drilling oil in the region. But for that, our Kraz 6443 needs diesel, which it has none of at the moment. That's why we need to take this here beautiful Czechoslovakian Tatra 805 over to the quarry with all the fuel it can carry so that we can get that Kraz up and running again. On the way over to the quarry, we'll pick up some fuel from our sponsor, Rosneft. After that, we got contracted to do a delivery to the far reaches of Zimnegorsk, but I'll fill you in on that later. Your truck deserves only the best, Rosneft. Now that we're all fueled up, we can start heading over to the old drill site where the Kraz 6443 is parked. Luckily, the gates over to the quarry are still in good working order, meaning the flooding situation hasn't gotten any worse since the last time we went through here. We forgot to fill up the fuel carrier while we were at the last station, so we'll go ahead and get that done now. The Tatra 805 really is an absolute beast that can get through just about anything, though its bouncy suspension does pose a little bit of a hazard. The sign on the left says Burovaya and Lesopilka. Burovaya means drilling site, and Lesopilka means lumber mill, coming from the Russian word for forest, les. Looks like we finally made it over to the Kras 6443, meaning that we can pump some fuel into it and get started on the next round of seismic surveying. The engineer is a bit grumpy on account of us having to sleep in the truck after running out of fuel, but at least we'll be back home in our comfy bed soon. The hustle never stops, as those capitalist pigs back in America say. Looks like we made it to the first location marked on our map. Let's get our readings and head off to our next work site. Unfortunately, it seems our next site on the map is over a kilometer from our current location. In any other case, this wouldn't be a problem, but this is the harsh north of the Russian Federation, which means this will not be easy. These Soviet suspensions sure are built differently. It handles these roads like a champ. A good comparison would be comparing Soviet-designed fighter planes and US-designed fighter planes. The US planes were very fragile, and any landing or takeoff runway had to be checked meticulously for debris and other foreign objects, whereas the Soviet-designed fighter planes just didn't give a cow's left udder where they were landing. The woods here are pretty tight, so we'll have to head through them quite carefully to avoid getting stuck. Looks like we finally made it, and the engineer can finally finish his contracted work and go home to his family. Rosneft thinks they've almost tracked down the ideal drilling site. Who knows whether they'll need us to drive their equipment around again, but in any case, it's time to head back to the garage and do what we're best known for, hauling cargo around in big trucks. For now, we'll head back to the garage so that we can uninstall this Rosneft equipment. It makes me anxious carrying around such expensive stuff that isn't mine, like holding someone's $3,000 laptop and worrying about dropping it. In any case, the local government that runs both Zimnegorsk and its namesake, the closed city of R2E8, has contacted us to bring building materials to the Zimnegorsk garage. A closed city is a remnant of the Soviet Union, and refers to a city that has travel restrictions. Most of them require permission from the Federal Security Service to visit them, and foreigners are almost always completely restricted from visiting them. In any case, we'll take the sideboard trailer with us over to the second vehicle service center and make use of our sponsor, Rosneft, to fuel up. Your truck deserves the best, Rosneft. We'll head over to the Sovietolny Zavod to put some new leaf springs on our truck using the service trailer we parked there, and we'll pick up some concrete slabs that they need at the garage. We'll also start heading towards the farm now. Now that we fixed the suspension problems we were facing due to the rough Siberian terrain, we'll hook the sideboard trailer back up, load it up with concrete slabs, and start heading down towards Zimnegorsk. There's a reason millions of people around the world admire the Kraz 6443, and it's for reasons like its ability to pass terrain like this. It's extremely stable, and sometimes seems like it can get through just about anything. We'll stop off here for fuel and end the episode here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, your truck deserves only the best. Rosneft.